I
You're running a
organize.
business. You have to be.
Oh, I
There
am.
has to be parts of you that aren't afraid, right? Because it's the pragmatic part of you that runs a business, right?
I am. I am yin and yang.
It's a, we all.
I am in, welcome to the 20-minute practice. I am Teresa Gagnon, your yoga guide, and today is a wonderful day to be, right? It just is. And I'd like to bring up the conversation that we've been having is in this physical plane, meaning the human world, that we've been given a gift called free will. And that free will is, I can dress the way I want to dress, I can speak the way I want to speak, I can do what I want to do, yet I can hear what I want to hear, I can see what I want to see, I can taste what I want to taste, but guess what? We've forgotten that we are source first, that we are universe, infinite energy, and how we work on this dimension, this plane, this physical plane, and this finite vessel means everything. We haven't been using our free will to do much good with it, and it's time to wake up. So for today's practice, we are going to dive into the awareness of where our mind goes. The ego is so prevalent, it's so persistent, it's so consistently wanting us to compete, wanting us to compare, wanting us to hoard our energy, to protect ourselves, to have security. Meanwhile, we've forgotten source, that we are always loved, we are always protected, we are always loved. Did I say that twice? That we don't need to compete, compare, to ridicule, to put down, to hoard, but for whatever reasons in the thousands of years, we've forgotten that we are source. So today's 20-minute practice is coming back to source, mentally, physically, and spiritually, into that space. So I'm going to take my finite vessel, this amazing Teresa, you know, this soul's having a Teresa experience. I'm going to come and sit. So you come sit with me, okay? And I'm not preaching, I'm asking. So let us get comfortable. I know I have my props all over the place, but if you have your 2 wooden blocks, a blanket, a yoga strap, bring them to the mat. But let's first sit on your bolster or your chair, and let's close our eyes down and welcome. I know most of you do know me here on the live stream. I am Teresa Gagnon, your yoga guide if you are new to the live streaming. Welcome, and thank you for being the support of the consciousness that we are all meant to be. Okay, so let us sit up nice and tall. Yeah, a little ponyasana. I call it ponyasana. Take a deep breath in. And just let it out. Close your eyes. If it's uncomfortable to close your eyes, a little drishte. We're going to be here for a minute, 1 minute, just to notice the breath. Notice the breath. Notice the in and out breath as you sit. Follow the breath to your best ability with your awareness of mind. Follow the in breath. Follow the out breath. Slow it down, meaning the mind, and follow the in to its fullness, peak of fullness. Follow the exhalation to its fullest exhalation of emptiness, and all the way back. Just use your awareness, your mind, to follow breath, just for a minute. So the practice is taking each day a little bit more time to bring your awareness to the breath. Did you notice your mind was like, distractions? That is ego, that is free will, a gift. Unfortunately, we've been using our gift and not using our gift well and letting it run into the unconscious realm of judgment and ridicule and hoarding and all those things. So each time you come back to breath, see if you could just train your awareness of breath to be that from like directing to source as opposed to from the chatter. And each time you take your ego and redirect it like a puppy pooing outside instead of inside your house, you will get to that place where you feel samadhi, a peace. And that does take a practice, just saying, okay? So physically moving our bodies with the awareness of breath and very cognizant of non-harming, ahimsa. This is the practice for today. So I'd like us to bring our hands together in prayer and to honor this wonderful gifted life of the human having an experience. Yes, our soul is having an experience. I'm having a Teresa experience. My soul is infinite, but it's having a Teresa experience, and you too are. So let us enjoy this physical body, and let's bring our hands together in the offering of Anjali Mudra and connecting to source that isn't outside of us, it's inside of us. We're bringing union to what is everything around us out. Inside, we are all connected. So we're going to do one beautiful chant of the primordial sound, Om, A-U-M, A-O-M. Closing your eyes down once again, take a deep breath in. With delight, releasing hands, lifting heart, blinking eyes open, welcome to our full 20-minute practice. I'd like to begin by just removing any props from beneath you. Make sure you have your 2 blocks at the front of your mat. I just finished the 90 minutes, so I have my stuff all over the place. Let us begin by taking one foot out in front and the other foot tucked towards your perineum, using your hands to lift your bum up off the mat and then back down again. This is a great practice for all ages, learning to utilize your root to rise. Do this a couple of times, one foot in front, one heel by your perineum, lifting your bum up. You could do it without your hands. Some of you have that ability to lift up. Let's switch sides. So once you switch sides, again, it's this, okay, ooh, how does that feel on that side? Each side is different. You can use your hands. I know some of you definitely need to use your hands due to knee and hip issues. Now, let's choose a side that you would like to arise from. I'm going to use this side. I'm going to lift my bum up, pivot on my back left knee, turn the toes under, press up so that my feet now are down, and my knees, I'm going to press up from my knees and engage all the way up. So see how you can get up. It's a practice. Once you find your standing position in Tadasana at the front of your mat, mountain pose, let me just rearrange my yoga mat. Stand as tall as you can, rooting down through the 4 points of both feet. The bird's eye is not very good because my head's in the way, but if you can bring your big toes to touch, heels slightly apart so your feet are parallel, or hip width apart, or shoulder width apart. You decide what works for you. Okay, so in your mountain pose, roll the shoulders, wiggle the jaw, feel the sensations, and let's express our arms skyward to say yes to opening ourselves up to life, to receiving everyday new information so that we may grow ourselves exponentially and not be stuck in all the old patterning that occurs every moment, every day. So let's just hold this for a couple more breath rounds, feeling that sensation. Good. And on your exhalation, let's hinge hips, knees, forward fold. Let us go all the way down. Let your head go. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Connection. Feel what you're feeling. On your next in-breath, you can use your blocks underneath your hands. Extend your spine. Feel the length of your spine so you're not in a hyperkyphotic curve. Then exhale, slide your hands as wide as your yoga mat, bending your knees. Step one foot, then the other foot back into a plank pose first, then shift up into your downward facing dog. I like to bend and pedal my knees and swing my hips. Make sure that you're rooting through your index finger and your thumb, clawing the mat so you're creating a suction cup of your hands. Now let's bend the knees and then lift the heart slightly forward and bend your elbows just a little bit so you turn the elbow creases to face your thumb and index finger. That's a big challenge for most of us. From there, keep your elbow creases facing your thumb and your index finger, and then lift your hips skyward, let your head hang between your upper arms, and voila, you have your arms externally rotated. Let's now move into plank pose, keeping your elbow creases facing your index fingers and thumbs. And again, plank is challenging for a lot of us. If your bum needs to be up higher so you're not in your shoulders so much or your wrists, and or, you know, you're parallel, it's up to you. Let's lower the knees, take your shoulders slightly ahead of the fingertips, then begin to hinge all the way forward through chaturanga. Place the tops of your feet onto the mat, roll your shoulders back, reach your arms back, lift your face away from the floor, but really engage your rhomboids, your shoulder blades. Can you press into the tops of your feet better? Like really anchor them down so your quads, your knees are hovering off the floor. Feel the arms and roll the shoulders, and then express your arms so that you're getting that opening through the chest. Feel that connection. Wiggle your neck and your jaw around. And then let's bend at the elbows, bringing your wrists right at the lowest rib so that you see this right angle happening. Let's lift the shoulders and then find your cobra and or your up dog. Now I'm going to stay in cobra for those that have issues in the tissues in the lower back. Let's keep those shoulders lifting and the spine growing tall. On your next in-breath, we're going to curl the toes for those that are doing cobra. Those that are up dog, you can press right back into your down dog. Let's press into the knees, half push up, then knees up, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, let's pedal, bend and extend. Mindfully closing your eyes and feeling the breath in your body. Remember, this is getting closer to who we are, source. So we're not egotistically moving our vessels. We're aware of the stickiness in our body. We're breathing mindfully into all of these little sticky spots. On your next in-breath, let's take that left leg skyward, bending and extending it, feeling that sensation, and then sending it all the way forward. So if it doesn't make it, take it there. Let's lower the left knee, rise up through the shoulders, the thoracic spine, engage your feet, they're hip width apart, you can see it through the bird's eye view, and then express upwardly. So reaching it up, feeling that crescent lunge. We tend to pop the ribs out to take those ribs in. You can keep the back right knee bent, it doesn't have to be snap straight, a lot of us are tight in the hips. So finding where your crescent lunge speaks to you. You can move your arms around with grace, feeling Shazam. On your next exhalation, let's take the hands in line with the feet, and then I'm going to use my blocks, but first take your hands ahead of your feet as you express the right leg skyward, but bending the right knee, right heel towards your bum, fold in towards the left shin. You can take your blocks if you need them for the support of your hands, but folding inward towards that left leg, bending that left knee as much as you need to, and then extend that right leg skyward. So giving yourself a nice little standing split to your best ability with 3 more breaths. You've got this, Hanuman, standing splits, not an easy one, I know. Can you reach that left leg, right leg even higher? Good. On your next in-breath, releasing the right leg to join the left leg, Ardha Uttanasana, extending your spine forward, moving your blocks if you need to. Exhale, forward fold, and then inhale, rise and shine. The big old V, Shazam, yes. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Got it, breathe it. Remember, coming closer to source, to self. No ego, lost stories here. Discernment. Inhale, rise and shine. Exhale, hinge, hips, knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Inhale, extend your head through the thoracic spine. And then exhale, go deeper into your forward fold. Land your hands as wide as your mat, in line with your toes. Inhale, step, left foot, left foot, doesn't matter. Plank it, then downward dog it. You've got it. In that downward dog, bending and extending and feeling and grooving, and then shift back into your plank. Lower your knees if need be through your chaturanga, exhaling all the way down. Plant the tops of your feet. Let's play with those shoulders again. Rolling, you want to externally rotate the upper arms. Feel the roots of your feet. Extend your neck. Couple more breaths here. Oh, this is really coring up in the erector spinae lower back. Let's bend at the elbows, wrists to the lowest ribs. You choose. I'm going to do an up dog for those in up dog. So your inner thighs are lifting, your tailbone's lengthening, your heart is forward. If you're in cobra, knees, and then if you're in up dog, hinge, hips, knees, downward facing dog. Finding the pleasures of your practice means really researching and doing what's best for you. Let's take the left leg. Excuse me, did I say left leg? What leg are we taking? The opposite leg. So let's take that leg, feeling the energetic energy of it. It's like, wow, feeling what you're feeling. And then mindfully stepping that right foot all the way forward. You can lower that left knee and then rise up, feeling the roots of your feet. Oh, I know. And then taking it up into your crescent lunge. That takes a lot of energy for some of us, especially new people to yoga. And if you haven't been practicing for a long time, or you have, picking yourself up, root chakra, is a lot of work. So feel your crescent lunge. Dance it. Connection. Very important to feel that. We are all worthy of stupendous love. When you're ready, let's exhale, release, touch down, lift your heart forward. And this is where we're going to walk the hands to support as we bend the left heel towards your bum, tuck your forehead in towards your right knee, bend your right knee, and then just get that little forward fold known as Uttanasana. But then let's extend that left leg skyward through the balls of the foot so that left leg is strong. Those with tight hamstrings, it's going to look more like this, and that's absolutely fine. You're working towards extending this beautiful back leg, and it may look like that for you, and that's okay too. Remember, this is where you're meant to be. 3 more breaths in your Hanuman, wherever that may be for you. Toning the lowest belly, letting the neck go. Good, and when you're ready to release that left foot, inhale, half back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise and shine. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. I've chosen these particular asanas to really root and strengthen us today, even to introspect the upside down, the Hanuman standing splits, okay? Let's do that again. Inhale, rise and shine. Exhale, hinge hips, knees forward, fold. Remember, we're connecting to source and breath. Let it go. Inhale, half back. Exhale, go deeper. Inhale, half back, just enough that you can step your feet back. Plank it. Let's move to the downward dog. I love going into downward dog from that position because we can realign the spine, lengthen the neck, and then let's shift forward, knees or no knees, through your chaturanga all the way down, and then find your locust pose, Salamba, and root through the tops of your feet. Lift the front of your shoulders. Take this opportunity to slow it down and be present. We're not rushing. Landing your hands, lowest ribs, up dog or cobra, your choice. Moving your neck around, feeling the engagement of this beautiful heart-lifting back bend, and then roll toes, hinge hips, knees, whatever you need to do, downward facing dog. Let's take that left leg once again, bending and extending, moving and grooving, stepping it all the way forward into your runner's lunge. Let's lower the right knee because it's a little bit more challenging. I want to challenge today to rise up and then pick up that right knee and reach up in towards the heavens. Keeping that belly button knitted in, bending it into your left knee and fully extending or bending the back right leg. Feel that energy, that connection. Open up your heart. Find what works for you. Then runner's lunge to Hanuman. So reach up through the heart and then extend that back right leg, heel towards the bum, then forward fold. Blocks or no blocks, this is up to you. And then fully expressing up through that right leg as you bend and extend. Maybe that standing left leg needs a little bit more of a bend. Can you playfully work your Hanuman, your standing splits, as you breathe cognizantly in this inversion? Oh yeah, one more big breath. Really extending out through that right leg. Then inhale, half back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise and shine like the phoenix. Exhale, prayer. Thank you. Okay, let's do the other side. Inhale, rise and shine. Exhale, hinge hips, knees forward, fold, let it go. Inhale to that bright extended spine, half back. Ardha Uttanasana. To your Uttanasana. Inhale, heart, head lifts as you step back, plank pose. Just feeling it to set the intention for your downward dog. You've got it, then move forward through your chaturanga. The reason why I just did that is because it really feels good to set the foundation stronger. As you move through, rising up through your core, just think of this as your locust pose, that salamba, you're opening up your heart, rooting down through the tops of your feet, getting those shoulders back, then planting your hands at the lowest ribs. Feel the chaturanga arms pressing into feet. Cobra or up dog, your choice. Reminding yourself that this is a practice. If you're using your knees to go back into that downward facing dog, it's a half push-up. It works. Downward dog it. When you're ready, let's take the right leg into space. And then moving it all the way forward between your hands, adjusting that back left foot and knee to rise up. And then from there, with the courage and strength, rising up even more fully. Wow. Connection. Connection. Feel the life. Yeah. Then taking it forward, taking it into that extended spine. Blocks or no blocks. Bending that left heel towards your bum. Keep your right knee bent just enough so that you can tuck in and then begin your excursion into that Hanuman standing splits. And remember, it's really just feeling, what is your foundation? Are you able to root to rise? So again, it can look bent. That could be your forward fold for you, those with tight hamstrings, it's okay. But to your best ability, you're working towards that standing right leg and that left leg to fully express themselves. When you're ready to inhale, half back, root to rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise and shine like the phoenix. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Fantastic. And then let's separate our feet as wide as the yoga mat and then off your yoga mat. Unless you put your yoga mat sideways like I did. Begin to bend your knees outwardly, heels digging into the mat, toes turned out. Let's just take a moment just to bend and move around for a moment. Just really getting into your vessel. And no one's around. Doesn't matter what you look like, just feeling, preparing for goddess pose. So with your toes turned out, take your arms nice and straight. Think strong like a starfish. So your shoulders are out of yours. You're not doing this, that. On your exhalation, let's bend knees and elbows towards each other. And then, this is one of my favorite poses. Think of this as you're just really hankering down. Exhale into your root and then opening up to universal source. Giving yourself permission to explore. 4 more of these, just really feeling, You can reverse the breath if that feels good to you. At your own pace. You could place your hands in a mudra. Another one, because it feels so good. Fantastic. And then from there, just allow that your arms come down by your side, heel toe, your feet towards each other. And then just taking a moment just to stand in your mountain. Eyes closed, heart wide open. Yeah. Good. And then blinking your eyes open, bring your feet at least as wide as your yoga mat. And you can lift your heels as you begin to Malasana squat. So some of us sticking your bum way back requires that maybe you lift your heels to squat down, a hand in front of you, both hands in front of you. If you're able to squat with both feet as wide as your mat with your triceps inside your knees, fantastical. Or you could take your 2 blocks underneath your heels. That's why we have our blocks at the front of the mat. I just switched my view though. So you choose feet, grounded, blocks or no blocks, triceps, knees, lifting up your heart. Malasana squat. Let us continue to practice our yoga every moment with the awareness of breath. This is the final part of our practice today. From my light to your light, giving yourself permission to be the self you're always meant to be. Let's get out of that stuck and let's move forward towards the self-awareness of source. It's the option we all have, yoga. This is quite an intense asana, so if you prefer to sit on a block, please do, but make sure you're getting into that flexion of the pelvis. Let us close our eyes. Let us end this practice with a beautiful vibrational sound of Om. Take a deep breath in.